How did my funny posts about wild nights turn into a stranger handing me papers in my office lobby while my cards kept getting declined? Why did my husband stay calm, say nothing, and still manage to close every account that made my life easy? I thought he was trying to punish me with silence, until the legal result landed in public. My name is Araminta Carlyle, but most people called me Minty. I was 34, and I worked as a social media manager for a dental group. I knew how to make things look good. I knew how to turn a boring day into a story. That was my skill, and I told myself it was also my right. Ethan was my husband. He was 36. He worked with systems and numbers at a bank. He liked quiet. He liked plans. He liked rules. At first, I thought that was stability. Later, I said it was control. That word helped me. That week started in our kitchen, like most weeks. The kids were loud, and Ethan moved around them like a careful person in a narrow hallway. Ava asked for cereal. Miles wanted toast and then changed his mind. Ethan asked if I could take Ava to school. I said I had an early call. He asked what call. I said it was a work thing, and he would not understand the timing. I said it with a smile that looked sweet. Ethan did not fight. He nodded and poured milk. That calm made me mad in a quiet way. I liked it when he reacted. A reaction meant I mattered. Calm felt like a wall. I opened my phone at the counter and checked my comments. A post from last weekend still had people laughing. I had written a joke about being out while my husband stayed in. I did not use his name, but everyone knew. My friends in the comments made it clear. Jessa wrote that I was too hot to waste on a man who fell asleep at 9. Someone else wrote that I deserved better. I read it twice, like medicine. Ethan saw me smiling at the phone. He asked what was funny. I said it was a work meme. He asked why I looked nervous. I said he was imagining things again. That was one of my favorite moves. If I called him confused, then I did not have to explain myself. Later, when he carried the kids' backpacks to the door, he asked if we could talk that night. He said it in a low voice, like he was asking permission in his own home. I said yes, but I also said he always picked the worst timing. I said I was tired of feeling judged. He looked down at the floor like he was counting his steps. After they left, the house got quiet. I should have used that time to clean or breathe. Instead, I opened my drafts. I had another post ready. It was not even a lie, not fully. I had plans for that night. I just did not plan to tell Ethan the full story. At work, the open plan office smelled like coffee and printer paper. I sat at my desk and checked our accounts. Teeth-whitening ads, smiling couples, before and after photos. It was all about showing people what they wanted to believe. My job was basically that. Rena, the operations lead, walked by and asked how my weekend was. I said it was busy and fun. She asked if Ethan came with me to the rooftop place. I said he did not like that scene. I said he preferred to stay home and monitor everything. I laughed. Rena did not laugh back. She looked at me like she wanted to say something, then she turned away. A few minutes later, my phone buzzed with a message from Jessa. She said the rooftop bar was doing a girls' night special. She said I should come and be seen. She added a little fire emoji. I liked that she knew what I needed without me asking. Then another message came in from Noah. His name on my screen made my stomach lift, like a balloon. He asked if I was free later. He said he had a short shoot at a venue nearby, and then he wanted a drink. I told myself Noah was not a real problem because he was not serious. That was my excuse. If it was not serious, then it was not betrayal. That was how my mind worked when I wanted it to. I replied that I could meet after work. I wrote that Ethan was in one of his moods anyway. Noah sent back a laughing face and said I deserved a night out. Around noon, Ethan called me. He usually did not call during the day. He asked if we could review the budget that evening. He asked it like it was a normal adult thing. I felt insulted by the normal tone. I said he was always talking about money. I said he cared more about accounts than feelings. He went quiet for a second, then he said he only wanted us to be safe. I told him I was safe. I told him he was the one who made me feel unsafe, emotionally. That word again, like a tool. After the call, I felt powerful for a minute. Then I felt irritated again, because he did not raise his voice. If he had raised his voice, I could tell people he was the bad guy. Calm was harder to sell. In the afternoon, I walked past the conference room and saw Ethan's name on my calendar app by mistake because our family calendar was shared. A reminder popped up on my phone. Meeting, personal. It was not mine. It was his. I stared at it longer than I should have. It annoyed me that he had something private that did not include me. I told myself it was probably nothing, or maybe it was him trying to punish me. That story felt better. After work, I told Rena I had to leave on time for a family thing. She raised her eyebrows and said she hoped everything was okay. I said it was fine, and I smiled in that bright way I used for patients in our waiting room videos. At home, I changed fast. Ethan was in the living room with the kids. He asked where I was going. I said I had a last-minute work meet with a vendor. He asked what vendor. I said he did not need every detail. He asked if it would be late. I said maybe. He looked at my outfit and then looked away. He asked if I could at least say goodnight to Ava before I left. I said Ava was old enough to handle one night without me hovering. I saw Ava's face at the doorway, and I ignored the small pinch in my chest. Ethan did not stop me. He did not grab my arm. He did not shout. He just said he would handle bedtime. I said that was his job too, and he acted like it was a favor. That was unfair, but I liked saying it. On the drive, I practiced my captions in my head. I told myself I was not doing anything wrong. I told myself Ethan had pushed me here with his coldness. I told myself a wife could be a person too. The problem was, I wanted the benefits of a marriage and the freedom of being single. I did not say it like that. I dressed it up as empowerment. The rooftop bar patio was full of noise and light. Jessa hugged me and told me I looked amazing. She asked where Ethan was. I said he stayed, he was home, being dramatic. She asked if he was mad. I said he was always mad when I enjoyed myself. That was my version, and I said it like a fact. Noah arrived with a camera bag slung over his shoulder, like he was still working. He asked if I missed him. I said I missed fun. He laughed and leaned closer. He asked if Ethan checked my phone. I said Ethan tried, but I was smarter. I said it proudly, like it was a skill badge. I took a selfie with Jessa. I posted it with a caption about wild nights and finally breathing. I did not mention Ethan, but the comments did it for me. Jessa told me to tag the location. I hesitated for 1 second, then I tagged it anyway. Part of me wanted Ethan to see. I wanted him to feel a sharp thing, because I was tired of feeling it alone. A few minutes later, I checked my phone again and saw a notification preview from Ethan. It was not a text to me. It was a silent alert from a shared app, something about an account setting being updated. Ethan's name was attached to it. I stared at the screen, and the music felt far away for a moment. I put the phone face down on the table and told myself it was nothing. I told myself he was just being petty, but my hand stayed tense around my glass, even while I smiled for another photo. The next morning, I woke up with a dry mouth and a bright feeling in my chest. My post had done well. I had comments and hearts and little laughing faces. It felt like proof that I was not stuck. Ethan was already up. I heard the toaster, then the soft clink of 2 mugs on the counter, placed far apart like they were strangers. He asked if I slept okay. I said yes. He asked if the vendor meeting went well. I said it was fine and I was tired of being questioned. He said he was not questioning, he was trying to understand. I told him understanding was not his strength. I watched his face tighten for half a second, then go blank again. Ava came in, rubbing her eyes. She asked if we could do Mom and Me Day soon. I said we would, and I made my voice sweet. Ethan looked at Ava and asked if she wanted pancakes on Saturday. Ava nodded. I told myself he was doing that on purpose, like he wanted to look like the good parent in front of me. At the school pickup line later, the sun was too bright on the windshield. Cars crawled forward like a slow animal. Moms leaned out of windows and waved at each other. I sat with my phone on my lap, checking my notifications again. One mom in the next car said she loved my video from last night. She asked how I kept my energy with 2 kids. I said I had to make time for myself because my husband did not get it. I said it lightly, like a joke. She laughed, and that laugh made me bolder. When Ethan arrived to pick up Miles from the other side, he did not look at me. He walked with the calm pace he always had. He helped Miles into the car seat and buckled him in. He did not ask where I was going later. He did not ask anything. That silence felt like a challenge. When we got home, I saw a small sticky note on the counter. It said, "Bring forms." It was not for me. The handwriting was his. I touched it with one finger, like it might bite me. I told myself it was probably for taxes or school papers. Still, it annoyed me. It felt like he was doing things without me, and I hated that. That night, we went to my mother's birthday dinner. It was at a family restaurant with a long table and bright lights, the kind of place where everyone could hear everyone. My mother loved that. She liked to stage. Jessa was there too, because she and my mother had become friends in a strange way. Jessa brought a loud gift bag and a louder smile. Daisy came with her husband, and she looked tired. Ethan sat beside me with straight posture, like he was trying not to take up space. My mother asked how work was going. I said it was going great, and I said I was building my personal brand too. She said that was smart, because men could leave but a woman's name stayed. Ethan's jaw moved, like he was swallowing something sharp. Then my mother asked Ethan if he was still on his little computer things. Ethan said yes, he was busy. My mother laughed and said I must get bored. I took that opening like it was a gift. I said I did get bored sometimes, and I said a woman needed more than a man who loved spreadsheets. I said it with a smile and looked around the table to see who would join in. Jessa joined fast. She said I needed a husband who could keep up. She said it like a joke, but it landed heavy. People laughed anyway. Daisy did not laugh. She looked at her plate. Donna, Ethan's mother, sat across from me, and her face stayed still, but her eyes went cold. Ethan asked me quietly if we could not do this tonight. He asked it without anger. I said I was just talking. He said it was not just talking when it was in front of everyone. I said he was too sensitive and he always tried to control my words. I said if he wanted respect, he should act like someone worth respecting. I heard myself say it, and I liked the power in it. Donna spoke up then. She asked my mother to stop making jokes at Ethan's expense. My mother said she was just having fun. Jessa said everyone was too serious. I said Donna was trying to turn the table into a courtroom. That word came out without me thinking, and Ethan's eyes flicked to me like he caught something in the air. Caleb, Ethan's brother, cleared his throat. He told everyone to relax. He said birthdays were not for fights. He looked at me and asked, in a careful tone, if I could ease up on Ethan online too. I felt heat rise in my neck. I said Caleb should not talk about my online life because he did not understand social media. I said Ethan should be grateful I even mentioned him because it meant he existed. Ethan said nothing. He ate slowly. He helped Miles cut his food. He wiped Ava's hands with a napkin. He did not look at me while I performed. After dessert, my mother wanted photos. She asked Ethan to take them. Ethan stood, took the phone, and did it without complaint. I watched him hold the phone steady, and I felt annoyed that he could look normal. I wanted him to look angry. I wanted proof of my story. On the walk out, Daisy fell behind with me. She asked softly why I was being so hard on him. I said she did not see what I saw. I said Ethan made me feel small and watched. Daisy said he looked sad, not controlling. I told her sadness could be a weapon too. Daisy did not reply. That silence from her felt like betrayal. In the parking lot, the air was cold. Ethan put the kids in the car. He moved like a person doing a checklist. When he shut the door, he turned to me. He asked if I could stop posting about wild nights. He said it made him look stupid and it made the kids' lives messy. He said people at his work had started asking questions. I felt a quick stab of fear. Then I pushed it down. I said he was blaming me for other people's reactions. I said if his co-workers judged him, that was his problem. I said he could fix it by being more exciting and not embarrassing me with his silence. He asked what silence. I said the silence he used to punish me. He took a slow breath. He asked if there was someone else. I looked right at him and laughed once, short. I said he was imagining things because he had no confidence. I said I had friends and a life, and he wanted to shrink it. I watched his face change, not into rage, but into something flat. When we got home, Ethan carried Miles inside, half asleep. Ava walked in quietly. I stayed outside for fresh air and checked my phone. Noah had sent a message asking if I wanted to meet later in the week. Jessa had sent a voice note saying, I destroyed at dinner, and Donna was shook. My mother sent a heart emoji and said she was proud of me. Then my screen showed a missed call from a number with no caller ID. It rang only once, like a tap on a window. I stared at it, and I felt a strange coldness behind my ribs. I told myself it was spam. I told myself it was nothing. Inside the house, I heard a soft click, like a drawer being locked. Monday felt like a reset button. That should have been comforting. For me, it felt like a new chance to win. Ethan did not mention the dinner. He did not mention my posts. He made coffee, packed lunches, and moved around the kitchen like a person in a rented room. He asked if I wanted the last yogurt. I said yes and took it even though I did not want it. I wanted him to notice my choices. He just nodded and rinsed a cup. On my way to work, I checked the views again. The birthday dinner clip Jessa posted was getting shared. It was not even a clean clip. It caught my laugh. Donna's stiff face, Ethan's quiet eyes. People in the comments called Ethan a sad dad. Some called him a man-child. I told myself it was not my fault. I told myself he should have defended himself if he did not like it. At the office, Rena asked if everything at home was okay. She said she saw some posts, and it looked tense. I said it was fine, and Ethan was just dramatic. I said he liked to look like a victim because it gave him power. Rena asked if I was sure. I said yes, and I smiled in that polished way I used for clients. She did not smile back. That afternoon, I went to the gym lobby instead of coming home. I told Ethan I needed to clear my head. He asked if I could be back for bedtime. I said he was acting like I was a babysitter, and I said he was the father. He said he knew that. He asked if Ava could call me before sleep. I said yes, like I was granting a favor. The gym lobby smelled like sanitizer and sweet protein shakes. I liked that smell because it felt like a new identity. I took a mirror photo in the hallway and posted a caption about getting my power back. Jessa replied fast and said I was glowing. Noah replied too and asked what time I was free. I met Noah later at a small co-working space near the river. He said it was quieter than bars and better for planning content. He talked like everything was business. I liked that because it made me feel less guilty. If it was planning, then it was work. If it was work, then Ethan could not complain without looking controlling. That was the frame I used. Noah asked what I wanted to post next. I said I wanted people to see I had a life outside, a man who slept early. Noah laughed and said that line was gold. He said people loved a before and after story. I said my before was marriage and my after was freedom. I heard myself say it and felt proud, like I had made a slogan. Noah asked if Ethan followed my accounts. I said he did, but he pretended he did not. I said he liked to watch and then act calm so he could punish me with silence. Noah asked if I was afraid of him. I said no, and I made it sound like a brave thing. I did not say I was afraid of losing control. That was the real fear. Noah opened his laptop and showed me a draft reel. It was just short clips of city lights, drinks on a table, me smiling, and music. Nothing graphic. Still, it looked like a promise. He asked if I wanted to add a caption like, "Wild Nights Without Limits." I said yes. I said it would make Ethan finally wake up. On my phone, Ava called while I was there. She asked if I was coming home. I said not yet, but I loved her. She asked if Dad was mad at me. I said Dad was just tired and sometimes he acted strange. She asked if it was her fault. I told her no, and I tried to sound patient. Noah looked away during the call, like he did not want to be part of that moment. When I hung up, I felt annoyed at Ava for making me feel like the bad one. When I got home, Ethan was in the living room with Miles asleep on his chest. Ava sat on the floor with a book. The TV was off. It was quiet. Ethan asked if I had fun at the gym. I said yes. He asked why I was out so long. I said I told him I needed time, and he should respect it. He nodded once. Then he asked if I could keep my posts away from the kids' school circle. He said another parent had asked him about wild nights. He said it calmly, like he was stating the weather. I laughed and said he should learn to ignore gossip. He asked if I could just stop giving them something to gossip about. I said he wanted to silence me because he could not control his own image. He did not argue. He stood up carefully so he would not wake Miles. He carried Miles to bed. I watched him from the doorway. In the hall, I noticed a faint toner smell, like the printer had been used late. That was odd because Ethan hated printing. He loved digital. I told myself it was nothing. The next day, there was a community hall fundraiser for Ava's school. It was one of those events with folding tables, name tags, and loud smiles. Parents brought baked goods and tried to look perfect. I wore a bright dress and walked in like I owned the room. Ethan came too, because it was for the school. He stayed near the back, holding a paper cup of coffee. He did not cling to me. That should have made me feel free. Instead, it made me feel exposed. If he was not chasing me, then I could not call him controlling. Jessa arrived late and loud. She hugged me and asked if Ethan was behaving. I said Ethan was on a silent strike. Jessa laughed and said that was his way of begging. She said I should post a clip from the fundraiser and caption it like I was a single mum doing it all. I liked the idea because it would hurt Ethan and also make people praise me. I took a short video of the room and included Ethan in the background without asking. He noticed the phone and looked away. Later, he asked why I filmed him. I said it was a public event, and I said he was not important enough to need privacy. I said it lightly, but I saw his face tighten again. A parent I barely knew came up and said my videos were funny. She said Ethan looked so serious. I said Ethan had always been like that, and it was exhausting. I made a joke about how he needed a personality upgrade. People laughed. I felt the laughter fill my chest like warm air. Ethan did not react. He walked to the side table and helped an older volunteer carry a box. He spoke politely. He acted normal. That was the problem. He was refusing to play the role I gave him. When the fundraiser ended, we walked to the parking lot. Ethan asked if we could talk in the car before the kids got in. He said he wanted to keep things calm. I said calm was his favorite mask. He asked what I meant. I said he used calm to make me look crazy. He took out his phone and checked something, then put it away. I heard a soft beep, like a recording app starting or stopping. He did not show me the screen. He asked if we could agree to keep adult problems away from the school. I said he was the one making it a problem by acting wounded. At home that night, I went to the desk to charge my phone and noticed the family computer was on. A cloud sync message blinked for a second. File uploaded successfully. I did not see the file name. Ethan stepped in and closed the laptop with a smooth motion. He asked if I needed something. I said no, and I tried to act like I did not care, but my stomach felt tight. I told myself he was just being petty again. I told myself he was trying to scare me with mystery. Still, when I scrolled through my feed and saw Noah's new reel draft waiting in our chat, I hesitated for the first time. Then I posted anyway. I always did. By midweek, I started to feel small cracks in the life I thought I controlled. It was not dramatic at first. It was just small things that made me irritated, like a loose thread on a sweater. Ethan kept acting calm. He woke up early, packed the kids' lunches, and moved through the house like a careful guest. He stopped asking where I went. He stopped checking my mood. That should have been a relief. Instead, it felt like he was taking something away from me. One morning, I met him on the stairwell landing while I was coming down and he was going up. We had to squeeze past each other. I expected him to brush my shoulder, or at least look at me. He did neither. He stepped aside and waited. He asked if I wanted him to take Ava to school. I said I could do it. He said okay, and kept walking, like my answer did not matter. I watched him disappear down the hall, and I felt a hot anger rise. I told myself he was doing it on purpose. I told myself he was trying to make me chase him. I refused to chase. At work, I tried to focus, but I kept checking my banking app, like a bad habit. Something about the screen looked different. I could not explain it. There was a new prompt that asked me to verify more than usual. I shrugged it off and told myself apps updated all the time. Rena pulled me aside near the break room. She said some clients had commented on our dental group account because they recognized me from my personal page. She said the overlap could become a problem. I asked what problem. She said people were gossiping about my marriage. I laughed and said gossip was free marketing. Rena did not laugh. She said HR might not love it. I told her HR should worry about real issues, not a woman enjoying her life. After work, I went to the supermarket to get a few things. The store was loud, with carts clanking and kids crying. I grabbed fruit, cereal, and a frozen pizza because I did not feel like cooking. At the checkout, I tapped my card like I always did, expecting the quick beep. Instead, the screen flashed and the machine made a dull error sound. The cashier tried again. She said the card was declined. I felt my face heat up. I said that was impossible. She asked if I had another card. I pulled out a second one and tapped it. Declined again. People behind me shifted and sighed. The cashier looked uncomfortable. She asked if I wanted to step aside and call the bank. I said yes, like it was a normal thing that happened to everyone. I pushed my cart to the side and pretended I was calm. I called the bank's automated line. It asked me security questions. I answered. Then it told me it could not verify my access and suggested I contact the primary account holder. I stared at the phone like it was insulting me. Primary account holder. That phrase landed wrong. I paid with a small amount of cash I had in my wallet and left without half my items. In the parking lot, I sat in the car and breathed fast through my nose. I told myself it was a glitch. I told myself Ethan must have changed something to punish me. When I got home, Ethan was at the kitchen counter with a laptop open. He looked up and asked how the store was. I said it was annoying. He asked why. I said the card machine was acting up. I watched his face for a reaction. He gave none. He just nodded once. That made me snap. I asked if he had done something to the accounts. He asked what I meant. I said my card declined twice. He said he did not know, and he would look into it. He said it in the same tone he used when the dishwasher broke. I hated that tone. I told him he was trying to control me. He asked how fixing an account issue was control. I said he knew I needed access because I handled groceries and kids' needs. He said we could use his card if needed. I said I did not want his card. I wanted mine. Ethan asked if we could talk calmly. I said calm was his favorite weapon. He asked why I always said that. I told him because it was true. I said he used calm so he could act innocent while making my life hard. Ethan looked down at the laptop screen, then back at me. He said he was not trying to hurt me, he was trying to create structure. Structure. Another word. A word that sounded like rules. Rules meant he was winning. Ava came into the kitchen and asked if she could have a snack. Ethan said yes and handed her an apple. Ava looked at me and asked if I was mad. I said no, I was just tired. Ethan asked Ava to go finish homework. Ava left slowly, like she did not want to leave us alone. That night, I went upstairs and opened the drawer where we kept spare keys and random papers. It was locked. I froze for a second. That drawer was never locked. I tried again, then looked around, as if the drawer was doing it by itself. I went to the bedroom and saw Ethan's key ring on the dresser. There was a new key on it. I had never seen it before. I walked back downstairs and asked Ethan why a drawer was locked. He asked which drawer. I told him he knew. He said he was organizing important items and wanted them safe. I asked safe from who? He said safe from accidents, and he kept his voice level. I wanted to scream. Instead, I laughed. I told him he was acting like I was a thief in my own house. He asked why I was taking it personally, if it was just organization. I said because everything he did lately felt like a message. He did not deny it. He just asked if the kids could not hear us. That request made me feel like he was painting me as unstable. I lowered my voice, but my words got sharper. I said he was pushing me away, and then acting like the victim. I said he wanted me to look crazy, so he could tell people I was the problem. Ethan asked who I thought he was talking to. I said I did not know, and that made me angrier, because I truly did not know. Later, when the kids were asleep, I heard a low hum from the laundry room. It sounded like the shredder. Ethan rarely used it. I walked near the door and listened. The hum stopped. The light clicked off. I stood there in the dark hallway with my arms tight against my chest. The next day, I went to the bank branch on my lunch break. The lobby smelled like clean air and old carpet. I stood in line behind a man arguing about fees. When it was my turn, I told the teller my card had declined and I needed it fixed. She asked for my ID and typed for a while. Then she said, gently, that my access level had changed. She said she could not override it. She said the changes were made by the authorized owner, and she could only suggest I speak with him. I asked if she was saying my husband had removed me. She said she could not discuss another person's decisions. Her tone was polite, but it felt like a door closing. I walked out of the bank with my face stiff and my hands shaking. I texted Ethan that we needed to talk now. He replied a few minutes later and said we could talk at home after the kids ate. That reply, so controlled and neat, made me furious. I forwarded the message to Jessa and told her he was financially abusing me. Jessa replied that I should go public and teach him a lesson. Daisy did not respond when I texted her. My mother replied fast and said, men only understood shame. I stared at my phone and thought about posting. I imagined the comments. I imagined the support. Then I imagined Ethan's calm face at the bank, invisible but present, like he had already moved his pieces. For the first time, I felt something close to fear, and I hated myself for feeling it. The talk Ethan promised never happened the way I wanted. When I got home that night, he had already fed the kids. Miles had sauce on his shirt. Ava was in pajamas, sitting at the table with a workbook. Ethan was wiping the counter like he had all the time in the world. I asked what he did to the accounts. He said he made changes for stability. I asked what changes. He said we could discuss it when the kids were asleep. I told him he always hid behind later, like a coward. He asked me to lower my voice. I said I was not the problem, his secrecy was. Ava looked up and asked if we were fighting because of money. I said no, and I made my voice soft, like a performance. Ethan told Ava she could brush her teeth. Ava stood, but she did not move fast. She watched us like she was trying to memorize who was safe. After bedtime, Ethan stood at the guest room doorway instead of our bedroom doorway. That was new. He asked if we could keep our talk short. I asked why he was acting like we were roommates. He said he wanted fewer arguments in front of the kids. I said that was rich because he was the one creating chaos. He asked what I needed right now. I said access. I said my cards should work. I said I should not have to beg my own husband. Ethan nodded and said he understood. Then he said he was separating responsibilities. He said he would handle the main bills directly for now. He said I could use a set amount for kid needs and groceries. I laughed. I told him he was turning me into a child with an allowance. He said it was not an allowance, it was a budget. I said budgets were control. He asked if I could explain how it was control to stop surprise spending while we were under stress. I said the stress was his choice. He asked if I could stop posting about our marriage. He said it made things worse. I said he wanted to silence me because he knew people would side with me. He said he did not care who sided with who, he cared about the kids and basic respect. I said respect followed results, and I had results. I said I built a life and a social circle, and he was trying to cut it off. Ethan did not yell. He just looked tired. He asked if I was seeing someone. I stared at him and said he was obsessed. I said he watched me like a guard. He said he had not watched me. He had asked simple questions. I said simple questions were never simple when they came from him. Then, he did something that annoyed me more than anger would have. He wrote something down on a small notepad and put it in his pocket. He did not show me. He did not explain. He just did it, calm and quiet, like it was normal. The next day at work, I felt like I was walking around with a secret stain on my shirt. In the office break room, Jessa called me dramatic names like I was a hero in a story. She said Ethan was trying to trap me. She said men always did that when they felt small. I told her she was right, because I needed someone to say it. Rena walked in while I was talking. She heard part of it. She asked if I was okay. I said I was fine, but Ethan was acting strange and controlling with money. Rena's face tightened. She asked if it was safe at home. I said he never hit me or anything. I said he was just cold and calculating. I said he liked to make me feel unstable. Rena said HR might want to know if my home life was affecting work. That felt like a threat. I said my home life was none of their business, unless they wanted to talk about how I carried half the team. Rena said she did not mean it that way. I told her people always hid behind process when they wanted power. At my desk, I posted a short story clip. It was just my coffee and my nails, and a caption about starting over. I did not name Ethan. I did not need to. People understood. Comments rolled in, saying I was brave and I deserved better. Noah messaged me and asked if I wanted to meet that night. I told him yes, then I told him maybe, then I told him I would see. I wanted him to chase. He did not chase the way he used to. He replied that he was busy anyway, and maybe another time. That shift made me feel insulted, like I was losing value in the one place I thought I had it. At home, the kitchen looked different in small ways. There were 2 mugs on opposite counters again. The mail was stacked in a neat pile I had not made. A folder sat by the toaster with a plain label that said Utilities. Another said Household. I touched the edge of one, and Ethan asked what I was doing. I said I was looking for coupons. He said the folders were organized and I should not mix them. I told him he was acting like a manager. He said he was trying to reduce chaos. That night, his phone alarm went off. It was a short, sharp sound. The label on the screen flashed for a second before he tapped it off. Paper drop. He saw me looking and turned the screen away like it was normal privacy. I told myself he was hiding something. I told myself he was planning to embarrass me. That thought made my stomach twist, but it also pushed me to act, so I baited him. The next morning, I posted a photo of my shoes in the car with a caption about girls' night and a location tag that was close to Noah's usual spots. It was not even true yet. It was just bait. I wanted Ethan to react. I wanted a fight I could screenshot and show people. Ethan saw it. I knew he did because he viewed my story fast, like always. He said nothing. At the school pickup line, Ava climbed into the back seat and asked why Dad did not sit at the table with us anymore. I said Dad was being dramatic and wanted space. Ava asked if I did something wrong. I said no, and I said grown-ups just got tired sometimes. My voice sounded calm, but my hand squeezed the steering wheel too hard. Ethan pulled up behind us in his car for Miles's pickup slot. When he came over, he greeted Ava and asked how her day was. He asked it in a gentle tone. Ava said she had a spelling test. Ethan said he was proud of her. Then he looked at me and asked if we could keep communication about the kids simple and clear. I asked if that meant he was punishing me with parenting rules now too. He said no, it meant we needed structure. That word again. I told him structure was just control with better branding. He said maybe, but it was still necessary. I tried one more angle. I told him he was acting like I was dangerous. He said he was not saying that. I told him everyone would see what he was doing if I spoke up. He said I could speak. He said he was done arguing about feelings in parking lots. On the drive home, my phone buzzed with messages. Jessa said I should expose him. My mother said, men only listened when you made them look bad. Daisy finally replied and said she could not be part of it. She said the kids were watching. I felt rage at her, like she had stolen my support. At home, I found Ethan in the hallway near the guest room. He had a small set of keys in his hand. He did not hide them. He just held them like they belonged there. He asked if I needed anything for tomorrow's schedule. I said I needed my life back. He looked at me for a long second, not angry, not pleading. Then he spoke in a flat, careful voice and said he was going to handle it properly. The next morning, I went to work like nothing changed, but my body felt tight, like I was wearing a coat that was too small. I checked my banking app again before I even opened my email. The screen showed limits and warning banners I did not recognize. I told myself Ethan was bluffing. I told myself he was just trying to scare me back into obedience. Jessa texted that I should post a Freedom Day story and make Ethan look stupid. My mother texted that I should never let a man control money. I wanted to believe them because believing them meant I was still the hero. Around mid-morning, Rena messaged me and asked if I could come down to the office tower lobby for a quick admin thing. I told her I was busy. She said it was important and it involved reception. I walked down anyway, annoyed that people thought they could summon me. The lobby was bright and echoing. People were coming and going. 2 co-workers stood near the coffee kiosk. The receptionist looked nervous. A man in a plain suit waited by the seating area, holding a folder. He asked if I was Araminta Carlyle. I said yes and asked who he was. He said he was there to deliver legal documents. I laughed once and said he had the wrong person. He said he did not, and he confirmed my name and address out loud enough that the receptionist heard it. I tried to step back, but he held the folder steady and said I was served. He did not touch me. He did not raise his voice. He just placed the papers into my hands like it was a routine delivery. I looked down and saw Ethan's name printed in clean blocks. I saw the word petition, and then words like temporary and schedule. My mouth went dry. Rena asked if I needed a conference room. I said no, and my voice sounded sharp and thin. I told her it was a mistake. She said she did not know and she hoped I was okay. I hated that pity in her tone. I stepped outside the building with the papers shaking in my hands. I called Ethan right away. He did not answer. I texted him and asked what he thought he was doing. He replied a few minutes later and said he was handling it properly, and he said communication would be about the kids only unless another channel was needed. I scanned the pages again. It said there was a temporary parenting plan and that it started immediately. It had pickup times and exchange points written in a calm, official way. It also said the finances would be separated and there were restrictions about moving money or adding debt. It did not read like revenge. It read like a door being closed with soft hands. I tried to log in to the shared savings account. It denied me. I tried the credit card app. It showed my user access removed. I tried the payment app we used for groceries. It showed my device logged out. One by one, the easy doors shut. My phone felt heavy like a brick. I called Noah. He answered, then went quiet when I said Ethan served me at work. He said he could not be involved and he did not want trouble. He said he thought it was just vibes and content. I told him he used me. He said he never promised me anything. And he ended the call. I called my mother. She said Ethan was humiliating me on purpose and I should go online and expose him. I called Jessa. She said I should post the papers and drag him. Then I looked at the first page again and saw the warning about public posting and privacy, written in plain language like it expected me. My phone buzzed with a notification from the school app. It showed Ethan had already updated the pickup contacts and times. It showed his name listed first. I stared at it until my eyes hurt, and then I realized the next pickup was in 2 hours, and the schedule on the paper said it was his turn today.